We've seen one, we've seen two. It is time for the third and final round here of the MTG Paper Legacy Discord Tuesday night mod fight night. We have our one and only Chaotic Bear Jeremy with Enchantress Lands, which I'm super excited to see played. I have not seen this deck in a while against Argon Platypus, one of the original members of the Discord, a 2020 member, coming in with the good old fashioned Maverick, and I'm really excited to see how these two lists interact with each other.
So, of course, Argon Platypus, really traditionally being a Jund player, right? That was kind of
Mhm.
ironically enough how Bear and Argon really started like kicked it off on a good foot because Bear also a Jund player, Argon a Jund player, and how can you not be friends when you're both playing Jund and Legacy? Ironically enough, neither of these players playing Jund today.
They even
Argon shifted
talk.
over to something kind of similar, right? Like Maverick is kind of just like Jund without the discard spells, right?
Yeah.
It's just we're just playing nice fair green creatures and a few white removal spells.
Yeah, and they actually. What's funny is they both actually talked about it in the Discord yesterday and today, saying I'm not playing Jund and I'm also not playing Jund. But they both said I'm playing a green, I'm playing a forest in a snow-covered forest, and then they went, I'm also playing a forest in a snow-covered forest. So these two have a great relationship and have been talking all afternoon and all morning, basically talking about. We They both wanted to possibly play Jund, but they both audibled at the last second to not play Jund.
I
So I
love
was
the
really
fact
laughing
that
at that.
excuse me. I love the fact that Argon is playing a regular forest and a snow-covered forest, because the only reason to do that for this list is for the bluff to make your opponent think that they have Feel the Dead as an option to get with Knight. That's the only foreseeable reason that I can think of at least,
Yep.
besides the technically predict tech, but I doubt your opponent's gonna be targeting with predict and naming forest or naming forest anyway.
Yeah, and then we know that Chaotic Bear is playing a forest and a forest to actually get the Field of Death trigger here, because we are running 33 lands with 3 crop rotations to do whatever exactly we need. Um, very, very yes, Blackwood. We did say Jund and Maverick. You were looking at some of our two best Jund players, and now we've got Enchantress lands and Maverick just for you, Blackwood. This is all for you.
I'm so
So
sad to say we are not continuing or not continuing with the theme of having a mono black deck in every single fight. I'm so sorry we couldn't commit to that bit, but we get to watch an incredibly fun matchup here. Of note, I have to imagine Maverick is favored here, right? Would
I
you agree with
think
that?
so. I think so. The lands deck, it has the power to just go if it gets there. Feel the Dead can just become a nightmare, and Tabernacle, along with Maze and a couple other things that can just really get you there. My favorite is Glacial, absolute Glacial Chasm, great card. Can really stop a Maverick deck in its tracks. But if Argon can get the right start, it's a steamroll.
What's interesting here is Bear has previously joked about playing bad lands when he's playing this Enchantress version, but
Mhm,
do wonder if this Enchantress version is just strictly better against Maverick. You have Elephant Grass to make it so you're able to interact more with the beatdown plan, right?
mhm.
You're actually able to lock yourself from getting clocked out. Where Maverick's game plan is really to kind of deploy out the board, wasteland the really key lands that initially come down to get enough tempo and enough of an advantage to clock your opponent quickly before they're able to before Bear's able to get to the late game. But Elephant Grass in particular is this card that Bear's going to be able to utilize to help get past that, right? Get through the first 2 or 3 wastelands because of course they're
Yep.
going to be tutored or they're going to be tutored with the Knight, and try to be able to solidify.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the inclusions here with this 13 enchantments. Falcon exploration has been really powerful lately. Exploration, that's super super sick. Also, you'll see Chaotic Bear using dice on his explorations to mark how many land drops he actually gets per turn, because we can see up to 3, maybe even 4 land drops a turn with the way that that's a Miri's Guile on turn 1.
What a great turn one play. I mean, we're using 4 cards from hand, right? But it's all right. We got a free a free index for 3 on the top before we draw every single turn.
Yeah, that's a huge turn 1 for Enchantress lands there. So super super excited to see that. That is the start that puts Argon in a really rough spot. Um, if that gets unchecked. What I do want to see here now is how does Bear put the pieces together to just now steamroll?
Well, Archon not having a play on turn 1 or turn 2, I do believe I do believe both players kept 7, Argon, of course, being on the play. You have to assume that there are just all the good 3 CMC cards in hand right now for Argon, right?
Yeah, or maybe they kept double swords, not knowing exactly what they were going up against.
That's
Um,
true.
there's always these possibilities of maybe GSC for 0 if you think you're behind, which we could see a couple different. That's a valid exploration. Um, that's not what Argon wants to see right now. That's a really brutal piece, and a Caracas on top.
And we're getting the 1 point of damage in. So the real cool part about Valakut Exploration is you're able to either use it as kind of this value engine, essentially
Mhm.
drawing cards for yourself, or you just dome your opponent and you clock them for 2 or
Yeah,
you clock them for 2 a turn, right?
yeah, they're super, super, super brutal. Um, I do want to point out. Can we talk about the playmats for our two players real quick?
Yes,
Um,
this is the first thing that you were excited about when we got to take a look at Argon's play space.
King John from the original Robin Hood cartoon, and also as a Death and Taxes player, the most beautiful. Unfortunately, it's like $150 playmat. The Rashad original art legacy championship North America playmat is so gorgeous. It's so pretty, and I want one so bad. But it's a 3-figure playmat. It might be up into 200 now. I'm not even sure. It's so expensive. It's such a gorgeous playmat.
It very much is. Although I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the King John, I'm like, I know that cartoon, but I'm not sure where I know that cartoon from.
Uh, One of the greatest intros ever, the Whistling Rooster, just telling me all about what Robin Hood's done up to that point. Every part of my childhood. Now, Argon did get an Eye of the Reliquary down, which is super good for them right now, but not great seeing what's on Bear's side. But that's a Dark Depths.
Dark Depths is a
And it
little
flips the
oh,
stage.
no. You can
Flips
just
the
make a 2020
fucking
now.
stage. Oh my god, flips the stage instantly. That's so sick.
The Tabby gets exiled. Here's the thing. I can respect not going and making the 2020 right away because Argon, after not playing any initial cards, very likely has the swords in hand. Um, at the same time, oh, there's a wasteland in hand. Okay.
Yeah, there's a wasteland on the battlefield. That looks like a Ruminov excavator, which
Oh, that's
super
really
sick
sick.
card. Great card, fantastic card. Get Rog, shout out. Great way to win the game.
So going ahead and passing doesn't go for the activation right away.
Hmm.
This is a really interesting stalemate. So now Aragon has the threat of 2 wastelands.
Yeah,
Argon can essentially start doing is just wasting 1 land a turn, bringing it back with Round Up Excavator. The issue is this Valakut Exploration might get to a point of Bear not really needing to worry about that and just being able to chain enough lands to
yeah,
not worry about being wasted a single time every turn.
yeah. That's an elephant grass off the top there with the Valakut exploration. Um, just a super sick card.
Looks like Wasteland targeting Wasteland, Wasteland being cracked back, targeting. I'm not quite sure it's being targeted by that second Wasteland.
Was it
Oh,
a
in the
did it
Savannah?
hit the Savannah?
Interesting. Looks like Chaotic Bear floating mana in response. Possibly going to play out this Elephant Grass.
I would assume so. Maybe I don't see why you like. What's the point? I mean, unless you just don't want another locator to get huge in front of you. It's not a bad idea. But actually, no. It's oh yeah, no, sorry. I'm reading the second part of So that's Argothian Enchantress. That is the draw engine we
Whoa.
needed. So
That
play
is.
the grass, trigger, draw a card.
There is no way to do without an Argothian Enchantress either
No,
on
it's
Argon's side
it
right now.
has shroud.
Oh, that's actually not true. There is 2 Plague Engineers main board, right?
Yeah, there are two play engineers.
Okay,
So,
that's
but
what
it
it
does
is.
have
Yeah.
shroud.
But oh my goodness, this engine. This now makes it so there are almost no hits off the top of the Valakut Exploration that Bear can't get card advantage from.
Absolutely. Um, Now, Elephant Grass will start to possibly cost some stuff for Bear. Could get in the way, but that is also a Mace of Ith on the battlefield as well for Bear. This has been this is the start that Bear needed to make sure this deck just rolled.
And
Um,
Bear really not even caring about the Dark Depths here.
no, no, not at all. I think they want to see an empty tapped mana base, stuff like that.
Argon playing Wasteland out of the graveyard, or maybe not quite yet.
Targeting
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Taiga. Yeah, targeting the Taiga out of the bin. Um, I like just eating. I like just eating his colored sources right now. I don't really hate it.
Of note, I'm just realizing this. The 10 ice counters, of course, being on the dark depths right now instead of the Thespian stage. They're essentially the same land. Meh. We know what's going on.
Yeah, we absolutely understand what's going on. I've seen enough depths on this channel to understand exactly what Bear can do with those cards. We may see a Merit Lodge here in a minute, but not going to pay the cumulative upkeep on one. Going to pay it on the other.
I must say though, this Valakut exploration with the Miri's Guile is really impressive. Being to set it up so Bear's going to be able to at least go through 2 cards every turn.
Yeah,
It's
it's
that's
super,
some
super
synergy.
sick. Life from the Loam. That's super sick right now. That's a Tabernacle, 2 fetches, probably. I think that's the target. So 2 fetches and a Tabby.
You just play Tabby here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You just slam Tabby. I think that's the best, one of the best lands for against Maverick.
It prices Argon into at least paying for the Ramanap Excavator. Likely pays for the Knight also at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
To be able to get the Wasteland back. Like you need to keep the Ramanap Excavator.
absolutely. It's just what you have to do. Shows another Enchantress off the flip.
This is some
Wow.
value.
Uh, this deck confuses the hell out of me, and I have to admit, Bear is a fantastic pilot of this Enchantress list. It's fantastic to watch. Um, watch them play this. I've very much enjoyed it. Argon, unfortunately, kind of sitting there twiddling his thumbs. Shows another stage.
That's another land drop. Not going to take it. Just going to go ahead and start doming. Oh, do we play this exploration though? Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
Trigger draw. There's so many triggers with this right now. Between the Argothian Enchantress, the Miri's Guile, and the Valakut Exploration, this is a lot going on.
Yeah, and Bear's handling it perfectly. So Bear now has 3 lands a turn. Shows another Valakut Exploration.
How do you get out of this if you're on Argon's side of the table?
I don't think you do. I think Bear's engine. I mean, this is basically a full blown steam engine. It's just going. I don't think there is any way to get out. I mean, you pass here, but there's uh gonna crack and search here with the Knight of the Reliquary.
Maybe go and get Wasteland?
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
another Wasteland. Yeah, I think that's the
Hit
best
the
option.
you have to hit the Tabernacle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but how much do you want to keep doing this? Because we've got Life from the Home from the bin. My first draw trigger, I'm just gonna put it back in my hand and do it again. Give
Yeah,
me Tabby again.
and Argon just has to keep spending their
Yeah.
1 land drop per turn on this Wasteland out of the graveyard. And Bear is just outvaluing a single Wasteland a turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we're seeing some mana for Plague
Plague Engineer.
Engineer.
That's
Yeah.
really good. That's really good right now.
This is
Get
what
a
we
name.
talked about is the one way for the Argothian Enchantress to go. What is the actual creature types on it? I have to imagine the Enchantress was eroded. So there has to be something else. Is it human?
I'm looking that up right now. I believe you are correct. It is a human druid.
Ah, there we go. It is no
Yeah,
longer a summon Enchantress. Good to
yeah.
know.
It is a human druid with shroud. Name's human. I like that play.
I do as well. That alleviates half of the card advantage engine that Chaotic Bear has
Yeah.
access to. Very likely not going to be able to deal with this, or not going to deal with this Plague Engineer.
Yeah.
Interestingly, of course, when you're playing all these Enchantress cards, Bear loses the Punishing Fire plan that is really traditional in a lot of the lands lists that we're used to seeing, which of course would be a way to hit the Plague Engineer and be able to get the Argothian
Hmm.
Enchantress back in,
Yeah,
or another
absolutely.
one in. And uh, just not even going to pay mana into it. Doesn't matter anymore. Kind of showing us what the 3 cards with the Guile are there. Looks like 3 lands. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the Dredge.
Yeah, it's the dredge.
Of note, we get to see Bear's one altered Thespian stage there, right on the
Yeah,
bottom
right.
part of the graveyard.
Yeah, it looks so good. So Bear just going through the formalities of casting another version, just another Life from the Loan. Just gonna keep, and he has 3 land drops a turn. He can just play all 3 of these right away.
and get 3 damage to be able to ping down Argon.
Yeah, which is just huge.
This guy's Cradle, of course, being really great. I wouldn't be surprised if Bear goes ahead and Wastelands the Cradle, like I believe we're seeing now, just
Yeah.
because that Cradle straight up is the answer for the Tabernacle, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Play the tabby, trigger, flip this, crop rotation.
ooh.
Probably gonna cast the crop rod here. Sacking the Caracas, play the crop rotation.
You just get Feel the Dead here. You don't care about your
Yeah,
20/20.
you absolutely no, you get another wasteland. You think you
Oh,
just gonna
let's do
drown them
this.
out? Just gonna drown them out here with no tabby? Yeah.
Oh, so with the Tabernacle out, of course, going to make it so this round up Excavator is off the battlefield. Lands cannot come back from the graveyard anymore.
Like
Oh, this is amazing.
Plague Engineer's gone, Knight's gone, Ramen Up Excavator's gone. Um,
Argon could have lands in hand still at this point, right? Argon has been only playing cards in the graveyard besides that great besides the Gaia's Cradle.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, but tabby is an upkeep cost, so those 3 creatures are gone.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But I'm saying that
that's
there's potential for more lands being in Argon's hand, but
sure.
at the same
Uh,
point, you oh, it just makes 20/20.
yep, that's yeah. I'm gonna show you this 2020 say go. Oh, he bounces
Rocket,
it. He Caracas
rocket,
bounces it.
yes.
Yeah, those 3 creatures are gone.
Well, that's exactly what you need to be afraid of, right? It was either white source and swords, or the Caracas being in hand. But
Oh,
it doesn't
playing one of
really
my
matter. We can just deal
favorite
damage with
cards.
this exploration. What was that card? Was that the
It's
Hall of Heliod's
Heliod's Dinner,
Generosity?
one of the greatest cards ever in Modern Horizons.
It's an
Um,
Enchantress card, and it's a land card. It's so perfect for this deck.
yeah. So realizing that everything needs to go away.
Looks like we're just fixing that up right now.
Yeah. Plays Caracas Wasteland, plays Diamond. Yeah. So everything needs to go. I don't know where the Caracas came from. Um,
I believe that was tutored with the Untapped Knight, right?
oh, was it? Okay. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Um, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's exactly what's happened. Yep.
There is likely still one Wasteland left in the deck. I believe we've seen two or
3.
three.
We
Okay.
just saw. We've seen 3. Again, a Maze of Ith, the Knight of the Reliquary, says no, thank you.
Yeah, Bear really just playing with his food here. I can't find a way for Argon to be able to really get out from underneath this.
No, it's pretty brutal at this point. Um, Gonna look at the top 3. I'm guessing we're gonna dredge here.
I mean, why wouldn't we? Just guarantee that we're getting 3 lands that we get to play.
Yeah, gonna dredge. Shows an Enchantress. Put Life in the Loam back in the hand.
Oof.
Just absolutely brutal. Look at that graveyard. Phoenix can't do that with the graveyard. It's huge.
I mean, give it enough time and it can, right?
I mean, give it enough time. We're on turn 4, turn 5, I think. We're
No,
just
we are decently past that now, my man.
That is just flying.
Get 2 wastelands. Seems good. And bog.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna play Wasteland, Wasteland. Gone.
Trigger find other life from the loam. We don't even need it.
No, it doesn't need to go anywhere. Loam to this that. Gonna crack it. Find a land. Great. I'm gonna loam it again.
Looks like Baird's just trying to really solidly set up 0 lands in play for Argon before he decides to actually go for the before he elects to actually go for the 20/20 kill.
Yeah. Fourth Wasteland. I don't think we care. I think you just still Wasteland the Caracas here.
Yeah, that seems right. It's a mana source.
Yeah, Wasteland the Caracas. Play Bog trigger.
Other wastelands. Well, that
Yeah.
knight is little again.
Knight's 2/2. Yeah, Knight's tiny.
And looks like we're passing back.
Insane game one. This is game one. Absolutely insane. Bear pokes to 9 with Valakut.
We are
Some
seeing another land.
Horizon Canopy.
Pop it for draw, just for the memes. Let's do it.
Why not? I mean, honestly, why not?
The knight is dead at this point, right? There's no
I
point for force
think
of vigor
that's
here.
just gonna be it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just picks it up. There's nothing that they can do at that point. That's just a brutal game one. That was an insane game one.
That was really what we were talking about, though, right? That
Yeah.
Argon in this matchup really needs to find his spot to be able to disrupt Bear's early game, kind of with the Wastelands, and establish an early clock and just beat in. But Bear just, when Bear sets up, it is going to be incredibly hard to be able to get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna look at sideboards real quick. Let's look at the Maverick list first. We've got 4 Leyline of the Voids. I think those come in. 2 Sanctum Prelates, 2 Chokes, 1 Sylvan Library, 3 Thoughtseize, 2 Path to Exile, and a Carpet. What are you liking here?
I absolutely agree with you. I think that the scariest card in this deck, hands down, is Life from the Loam. That is exactly the card that you're afraid of. That is Chaotic Bear's way of getting back the lands that you deal with your wasteland. So I really do like bringing in Leyline of the Void. Not as good against this version
No.
of lands as it is against normal lands, of course, because of the Punishing Fire thing. Sure, you shut off Hall of Heliod's Generosity, but that doesn't really matter, let's be honest. And then I also like the Sylvan Library. Like you said, it's just an amazing card. You don't have to worry for the most part of
Mhm.
Bear getting early pressure down. So you can draw that 8, you can draw that 12. Drawing 12 is a little bit more scary because the Valakut explorations being able to kill you in 3 turns then. But well, I believe that's what we're gonna see coming in. What do you think comes out?
The Maverick list,
Yeah.
probably uh with the amount of things that they're running and how many lanes we get there that fast, probably I hate to say this, maybe Thalia comes out. I just don't think it does anything for you right now. Um, I could even see something as crazy as I'm not the bet. Like I don't know much about Maverick when they're in sideboard mode. I could see maybe the Stoneforge package coming out, knowing it doesn't do much.
What about your lady Mother of Runes?
Probably. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't hurt. Um, like it's not even that bad of a cut. Um, for what we just saw, unfortunately, Maverick just feels bad. I mean, nothing against Argon. It just like watching Bear have that much control over the matchup that entire game. I would want to put my deck to the side and not look at it.
Ooh,
Didn't seem
savage.
just
Ooh.
didn't it just didn't look like that anyone had an answer there. It doesn't matter who's piloting that Maverick list. It just doesn't look like there was an answer to be found. Argon absolutely had played the outs when they needed them, and it was very, very strong. It just didn't look. It just Bear was so set up from turn one. Exploration, Miri's Guile. We're gonna play our game. It
Yeah.
was perfect.
Really, they're kind of the biggest thing that we're looking at here is there's no real way to deal with the exploration effects. The two, both of them, right? The actual
Yeah.
exploration and the Valakut exploration, which are two of the
Yeah.
scariest cards for you. Just the amount
Yeah.
of those two cards together create such an amazing ability to ramp and develop card advantage at the same time that it's just incredibly difficult to get over. Let's jump over to Bear's list though.
Yeah.
Bear going strong in on the Enchantress sub theme. Uh,
Yeah.
and neglecting to play, some classic cards like Source of Plowshares over classics like On Thin Ice. We are seeing
Why not?
two
Why
on
not?
thin ice, two on thin ice,
Why would
with 2 chokes, 2 Cindervines, 1 Force of Vigor, 2 Clothis God of Destiny, 2 Oblivion Ring, 2 Pyroblast, and 2 Surgical Extraction. What do you like out of this sideboard plan, Pope?
put all 15 in? Um, except maybe the Pyroblast. I like it all. I really do like. I mean, Choke's not great. Choke's not coming in. Pyroblast isn't coming in. I don't think we need to worry about Surgical. We don't need to bring Surgical in. I really think it's funny to bring in something like Clothis or definitely the Force of Vigor if you think you're going to run into maybe a Leyline. I think that'd be a really cool thing to see. Opponent go cool turn one, turn zero Leyline. In response to your first spell, I'm going to Force of Vigor your Leyline. Um, that could just be a thing. I also really like Cindervines. Well, not really with a Maverick deck. It's 25 creatures. I thought about it. Cindervines is bad too. So I think the Force of Vigor, the Clothis seems good, um, and I like uh, on thin ice,
There's
and some other
one
stuff.
snow land in this deck. There's
I'm
one. Unless Glacial Chasm was eroded without me knowing to be a snow land also, there is a single snow land to use with this, on thin ice.
I am looking right now to make sure Glacial Chasm is just a land. It is
Oh,
not a snow land.
alright. Well, you know what? It's a good thing we got all these fetch lands because 'cause that'll be the first basic we get, and then after that, these on thin ices are turned on. Just I
I
love this
mean,
deck so
that would
much.
be hilarious. Um,
I
I
could
mean,
expect maybe bringing in Force of Vigor only if we had actually seen the Stoneforge plan. It's really interesting because what do you really want to take out? Like, all your cards are so good. Um,
yeah,
Even Bog, which is kind of looks like one of your weakest cards in the matchup. Like, it has play in that it shrinks a knight, so I can't even imagine taking that out. I actually wouldn't be surprised if we just take in 2 on thin ices, maybe cut a single Miri's Guile, and what would be the other card to cut though? I don't even
maybe,
know. Maybe a Thespian
maybe,
Sage? I
maybe
don't
an
know.
exploration. Maybe an exploration. You could come down an exploration. Maybe a Valakut exploration.
Okay, yeah.
Especially. Um, I mean, there's plenty of things you could do here. I mean, I'm excited to ask Bear after the matchup if we see what's going on. I think they're waiting for us to give them the go ahead. They're more than ready to go.
Oh,
Um,
definitely. I mean, we're just riffing here, going off on this right now.
and there's his turn zero ley line.
Bear on 6 here, did mulligan down to 6, while Argon on the play and keep 7. So this is exactly what Argon wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
The You don't have to worry about the life from the loam at long game. And the vast majority of this time, you're not going to have to worry about the Leyline of the Void going anywhere. That Leyline is likely going to be staying.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was just messaging our table spotter. Don't want art. I don't want to see all of Argon's hand again. Did see a flash of it there. But is that a white bordered snow covered forest from Modern Horizons?
Yes, it is. I love it. It's great. You know, some
No,
people they commit to the bit.
no,
Some people like dabble a little bit. They like whiteboard or maybe one or two things. Some people commit.
yeah, no. I mean, I think it's. I think it looks fine. I think it actually looks. And looking at it again, I actually kind of like it. That's Mox Diamond pitching a. Uh,
It was ditching a Rishidan port, and then we see the wooded foothills coming in and fetching away
gotcha. That makes more sense. Um,
the one snowland. Just to point out this out, on thin ice is now live. People, we can see it coming down.
if we on thin ice and Noble, I'll lose my shit.
Oh, that'll be great. Show it to me. Show it to me, Bear. I
if
want to see
we
it. Exploration. Oh, Mirror's
Mirror's
Guile.
Guile.
Just as good.
Oh, I was
Oh
fucking
no.
hoping. I was so
Oh
excited for
no.
a
No.
second.
Watch Bear play. Wait, no. There's no more lands in hand. This is an exploration with no third land, because of course the first one being ditched to
Yeah, that's a really good hex drinker though. Sure, instant level 3 hex drinker. That's
oh.
sick. That's a
All right.
4/4.
I need to go look at all these levels real quick.
So from 3 to 7, protection from instants, and then I think level 8 plus it gets protection from everything, and it becomes a 6/6.
So
Is what I
Source of Plowshares would not be able to deal with that Hex Drinker right now. You know what can deal with that Hex Drinker right now, though?
Tabernacle.
Oh, that or on Thin Ice. That was we were leading into.
Are
But
also
you're
on thin
right.
ice. On thin ice is 100% viable. Let me see it,
Bear
Bear.
looking
Come
at
on.
his Guile.
Chain to the rocks. Let's go. HC Fox gets it. Chain to the rocks.
Thero Standard All-Star. Really tanking on the exact way to put this together.
I mean, in the deck that can be as complicated as Lance, I mean, I would rather see a player in the tank making sure they're making the right decisions. That now, this is what I was saying. If Argon has a fantastic start, this is where Maverick can just roll. And I think we are seeing
Oh,
this.
that is not. Oh, wait. Did we have must have had the Dark Depths in hand last turn and just didn't want to play it out?
Yeah, probably with the possibility of a wasteland coming down. And now we have the wasteland backup to possibly deal with it. I think you wasteland the Gaia's Cradle right now. Just get rid of it.
I mean that mini Progenitus is very scary.
I mean, yeah, it's very spooky. Are we going to see Bear tap out here for maybe a loan? No?
Well, loam doesn't do anything, right?
Oh, right. There's a ley line. That's one of the reasons why you fucking bring it in. Wasteland, the Dark Depths. See ya.
It gone. It gone. That is at level 5. We need land off the top turns that thing into the Progenitus right now.
Yeah.
Chunky in for 5, of course, because that Exalted trigger as well. Really
Hmm.
putting a clock on Chaotic Bear. Chaotic Bear needs to find something with these Mirror Guile activations. Or triggers, I apologize.
Yeah. Uh,
What?
what did he just find off the top? Is that a
That's
rift? Is that a Riftstone portal? That is a Riftstone portal.
yeah, that's the land that when it's in the graveyard, all of your lands can tap for green and white, right?
Yeah. It just produces colorless mana right now, but I was like, that's a really cool inclusion. Um,
Protection from instants does not protect against Oblivion Ring.
does not protect against Oblivion Ring. Perfect find for Bear right there. It's exactly what they needed. Once again, showing the absolute depth that Miri's Guile can give you. I guarantee you, I want to say that Oblivion Ring was 3 cards down, was the third card in that stack. And that's
Either
an
that or he was
exploration.
just looking for the third land for that long. Like I wonder if that's why Bear was tanking so hard and whether or not to wasteland the Gaia's Cradle was because because he had Oblivion Ring in hand and was
Mhm.
debating either deploying it at that moment or just going ahead and getting rid of the Gaia's Cradle.
That's a
Oh,
brutal thing to find right now. But now he's got a scrubland. I mean, he's got a savannah.
yeah. I mean, that's just it. This is so normally a lot of the Dark Depths decks, the way that they make it so their Dark Depths can actually tap for mana is a lot of time with Urborg. Lands goes another route and puts Riftstone Portal in the graveyard. Oh, wait, no, that's not the way this works right now because of Leyline. We keep forgetting this.
Oh wow, that's brutal. Oh no, so I mean, Bear has 3 mana. That's a wasteland. Um,
Sure, Crop Rot.
Crop Rod.
Crop Rot, get rid of the Wasteland.
Yeah.
Valuing that snow-covered forest for the on thin ices that are in the deck right now. Remember, people, that is the only snow land in this entire deck.
Fog
Yeah,
with
I like that.
with a Ramanov. I think that's a fantastic grab. That's so smart.
The Cradle has the possibility of absolutely blowing you out. Oh, and gets the other land off the top with the Valakut exploration trigger. Fortunately, this Taiga going to Nowheresville. Does is damage dealt when you have a leyline in play off the Valakut's exploration?
Yeah, because let's see. At the beginning of your end step, if there are more cards exile with Valakut Exploration, put them into the owner's graveyard. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each
Okay.
opponent. So you do everything, even if there's an illegal, even if there's a thing you can't do in that, you put them into graveyard. They go to exile. Then Valakut will still trigger, I believe. So you'll still because those cards were already exiled with Valakut. They're not in any way going. They're just going somewhere else.
Yeah, makes sense.
Um,
I was wondering if it was contingent on the number of cards going into the graveyard, but no, it
I,
looks like it is not. And we're seeing Green Sun Zenith for this Knight of the Reliquary.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's a great thing to do. Autumn time.
Mm, our stream tech, the lovely Beyond Sadistic, kind of predicting that we were going to see the Night of Autumn being green sun for. That would be really interesting to blow up either this exploration or the O ring. But it looks like Argon is really valuing getting this Night of the Reliquary online and being able to just do likely the Wasteland and beatdown game.
Very good steps.
We saw it. We
Oh,
get
it's
to
on the
see
on
nice.
the ice.
We get to see it. We get to see it on the one snowland for this
So
entire deck. Love it.
it
It's great.
fucking happened. That's what I wanted to fucking see. Thank you so much, Bear. You are just absolute royalty. Thank you so much.
And what I always forget with On Thin Ice, it isn't like Oblivion Ring. It's exiled and gone forever. It doesn't matter if you blow up that land. It doesn't matter if you go ahead and oh, that's so right. Dark Depths is a snowland. It has additional text.
Yeah,
All right, well, all right. There are other things to enchant, I guess. Whatever.
sure. But you enchanted the basic, which is even funnier. So we liked it. Pokes
Oh, I
Bear.
liked
Bear's
it
at
so much more
7.
when there was just one snowland. I hate this now. Now you have three snowlands.
uh,
Lame. Garbage.
Lame-o. Lame-o. Ship the thin. Take them out of the deck. Take the Anthonyses out of the list. That's a stage.
This knight is summoning sick right now.
Plays the stage,
Yeah.
copies Dark Depths, makes a lodge.
I like doing this right now. It's very likely that Aragon took down some of the Swords of Plowshares. You still want to keep in a few out of respect for the 2020, but you're just making Argon have it at this point.
And then an elephant grass. Path to Exile brought in removal.
Yeah.
Brought in removal, but also giving Bear a basic land.
Neo Cowbell, that white card in play is the original Oblivion Ring art.
Yeah, my opinion, the best art.
I've always loved what's the Knights versus Dual Decks Oblivion Ring? I
Oh.
love that Oblivion Ring. It's the one with the dragon, with a faraway shot of a forest, and it has this like Halo-esque ring going around it. Also of note, that's my favorite Knight of the Reliquary art, hand down. I just wish that it came in non-foil.
Yeah, it's the wall of text with the dragon getting eaten alive basically from inside from the O-ring wrapped around it, which looks great. Looks great in foil. If you can get it foil in a like someone made a fake if someone made a foil for you. I've seen a couple on the internet for it. But no. Oh no, it's right. It's right. It's a F&M promo of that art as well. That's where I've seen
Oh,
the
is there
foil.
really? There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, which is a sick art. That's amazing. If shows another Miri's Guile.
Might as well just let that go to the graveyard.
Yeah, take
Additional copies aren't especially needed. It isn't like they stack well or really do anything in multiples. So just
yeah,
take the damage.
Taiga takes two here. Um,
And cracking in for 3.
bringing the ramen up. Just might get there.
I mean, Bear is down to 3. Another swing is lethal. It's really all about what's on the top here. I believe Bear is Hellbent as well,
I think you're correct.
which also is a big explanation of why Bear chose to make that be the moment to just jam the Merit Lodge. And tanking. This is an important decision.
We're gonna go to game three.
Could not find a way to get out of that with the 3 cards there. Do you think sideboarding changed it all now? Do you think Bear brings in the Force of Vigors now with seeing the ley line?
Well, Force of Figure is only a one of in the sideboard, so if they didn't bring it in, they're definitely bringing it in now. The one of that was kind of brutal. I do love that we saw the Oblivion Ring and the on thin ice. That was pretty sick. I don't think Maverick changed anything. We did see the path to exile, so I'm guessing I assume we brought in more removal. Maybe took out the Once Upon a Times, something like that.
That is really
So
interesting to me that we went up on removal, but also can respect it. Like, I do not know how to play Maverick. That just is not what I would be thinking of. I suppose you do have so many. We did previously talk about just the sheer glut of cards that you were able to take out, though, right? We
yeah,
talked about how Mother Runes isn't that great. Collector Oof has its possibilities. Is probably worth keeping in just to turn off a Mox Diamondy hand, but there's other cards that just aren't that amazing, right?
yeah.
Scavenging Ooze could see some play. I can see that also coming out since you're bringing in the ley lines, and really, if they're casting a Life from the Loam,
Hmm.
take it hitting spending 3 of your own green mana to turn off with a single Life of the Loam. It isn't really a winning game plan, right? Like you can hit
Yeah.
1 or 2, but I don't know if you're able to go that much longer, or you're going to be able to really play that game out. Um, do you think Argon's sideboard strategy changes at all now that Argon is going to be on the draw?
I don't think so. Um, maybe brings in the maybe if the thought seizes came out, maybe bring them back in to take out maybe like an Enchantress or something like that. I'm sorry, Argon's on the play, is on the draw. Never mind. Don't bring in the thought seizes. I think they're bad on turn if you're not on the play in this game. Um, no, I just don't think so. I actually just don't think so at all.
Right, sounds good. Let's see what these players do. They're going to go ahead and shuffle up. Of note, the players do have 23 minutes left.
Yeah.
This is not a real event in terms of there being any prizing or there being other players who are waiting. This is the last match of our night. But we still do keep us with a 60-minute time clock, right?
Yeah.
We want to make sure that these still are realistic decks. And if we end up with the Miracles Mirror, we're not ending up with a 2-hour game that just wouldn't actually play out in any tournament setting.
Exactly. And then Pedro Purin, this deck is basically a lands package. So it's running 33 lands, but we're running decks. We're running 4 Argothian Enchantresses. We're running 13 enchantments like Valakut Exploration, Miri's Guile, Exploration, and Elephant Grass to basically create a very potent draw engine for ourselves. So it doesn't have all of the pieces like Punishing Fire and all that stuff, but basically it is a just straight land enchantment draw engine that just gets there. No.
Left Coast, you are the only person who would be here for the top 8
Nope.
Untimed Miracles matchup.
Nope. No, thank you. No,
Appreciate you though,
thank
my man.
you.
Appreciate you.
Love you, but no.
Yeah, we
Absolutely not.
we didn't
I
really
don't want
talk.
to.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I don't want to sit here for 3 hours watching someone play blue white control.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you on that. Of note, what we didn't really talk about this in deck building is really I love this Enchantress lands build because it capitalizes on the typical lands deck where you look at all of their types of spells. And what's the second most prevalent permanent type in your traditional lands build? It's enchantments, right?
Yeah,
Your Valakut
absolutely.
explorations, your regular explorations. And it's just kind of it's this really cute deck building that you're capitalizing on something that's already a secondary contingent in your deck, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I don't know. It's really cute, I gotta say, and also really effective. That card advantage engine that got going when there was the Argothian Enchantress, the Valakut exploration, and the regular explorations in play was absolutely nutty because there was no cards for you to hit that you weren't going to be able to chain off the Valakut's exploration.
Yeah, it was these both players are playing, especially for Argon on that game too, got everything they needed to get off to a fast start. And that's what we said, that if Bear has a good, it really depends on who has the best turns 1 and 2. That's gonna win this game. If Argon sits there with his hands, turn 0 Leyline's gonna do great work here. Um, Now, do we see a Force of Vigor in Bear's turn on turn 1 for them?
Of note, Bear also does have the Oblivion rings that we saw previously. Another way to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then also has the possibility of being able to be able to get there even through a ley line, right? It's just a lot harder and your life of the lumps are not as good.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing to note is Bear, while Bear is on the play, Bear did mull to 6, while Argon went all the way down to 5 here. So Argon with this draw step only has 5 cards in hand because of this ley line being put into play.
Yeah. And then Once Upon a Time. So didn't bring the Once Upon a Times out.
I mean, it's a really good card. I
Yeah.
am a really big fan of that card. I played a lot in my green white reclaimer build, just because every single card behind swords or Queenston Zenith is a hit. And
Card
it is
card's great.
some amazing amount of selection for sure.
Yeah, I played Once Upon a Time before it got banned in Modern in the 5 color Sensi list. It was great to be able to find the, because usually you have one landers with a bird. That's a turn 1 Hex Drinker. That's spooky. Um, you play those. You go turn 1. You keep a land of 7 cards with a hand and with a one land and a Birds of Paradise. You Once Upon a Time for the second land. You're gold. You're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Um, My
Is that a
favorite thing
portal
about that
frequency?
card, I loved playing paper Magic with Once Upon a Time. I played Amulet Titan all the time at that era. Um, the amount of salt you could get out of your opponents by every single time you cast Once Upon a Time, you ask them if they would like to cut the bottom cards that you're about to put under because they need to be randomized. Um, that was a special slice of heaven for me right there. That was a real good feeling. But we're
Yeah.
seeing this Sylvan Library come down, and this is
Yeah.
a scary card on Bear's side of it, or to see from Bear's side of the table.
Absolutely. A 2/1 for one that has the one level up ability. That's brutal. And yeah, we're seeing a level. I think they're just looking at what set it was from the Sylvan Library. Um, just and To answer your question, I'm not sure, Prez, but we you know that Bear has every basic land, so who knows what it could be.
It's another great time to hype the Discord. Go ahead and point Discord in the chat. Come and join us. In there, in that giant conglomeration that is our Legacy Discord, you'll be able to play with opponents. You'll be able to play in some Saturday events. Join us on Fight Night, but you'll also be able to find the post of Bear just flipping through his lands binder.
It's so gorgeous. It's the prettiest thing in the world. I'm so jealous, and I'm so happy they were able to get it finished. They're beautiful, like 1 minute videos of them flipping through from alpha basics all the way to judge promos and summer magic to 1993 starters. They've got they have a copy of every single basic land printed in Magic, and it is the coolest thing to see. Um, so But yeah, and you can see that all in the paper magic. You get to hang out with us. We are very our mods, myself, Oliver, all the mods you've seen play here tonight are so active on the Discord. We are always ready to answer questions, pick some games up, talk decks, talk ban lists, talk anything, talk reserve lists. We'll talk about anything. Um, that's a great Valakut exploration for Bear right now on curve. Um,
So of note, that Hex Drinker in the previous game was incredibly scary when we saw it with the Noble and the Gaia's Cradle. This Hex Drinker right now really is not that much more of, or not that much of a concern.
no, it's a 17 turn clock. It's not a big deal. But Argon does take 4 here, which could be which the scariest thing would be like land cradle. Would be like one drop cradle, and then you could start maybe starting to go, which could be a very scary thing. But we are going to see a wasteland here. 3 mana, going to just level up to 3. We've got a 4/4 with protection from instance.
And we're swinging in. We can start chunking.
Yeah, goes to 13. That's a big hit for Argon.
We are looking at the top three here again. The previous thing we talked about in the second game, right, is that the nice thing is you don't actually need to be that worried about this first mode on the Hex Drinker. You're not playing swords. All of your enchantments are, or I'm sorry, you're not playing swords to plowshares. All of your removal is enchantment based. So you have the On Thin Ice. Of course, cannot cast that right now. There are no snowlands, but also has Oblivion Ring to be able to deal with it. The other nice thing is there is there's, I believe, no possible way for Argon to get it all the way to level 8 and turn it into the mini Progenitus on this subsequent turn. So you have an additional turn to try to find an answer for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can get to 7. It could be brutal. Another exploration. Gonna play it. Why not? That's huge. So crack. Gonna get 2 exploration triggers here.
No additional land drops. We are seeing the snow-covered forest come down. All right, on thin ice is live. That is something that we can cast if the savannah doesn't get wastelanded.
On thin ice. Let's go.
So 2 exiles lands are not going to be able to play. Those are going straight to the bin, and those are 2 good lands. Feel the Dead and Maze
Those are
being
going
shown.
into exile. Those are
Oh, that's so
gone.
true.
Those are 2 huge cards to see go today. Go right away. But it is 2 damage to Argon, which is pretty big. Bear has the ability to, with 2 Valakuts, to do some major damage next turn.
Taking a single card, it looks like, off of that Sylvan Library.
Goes to 10.
Yeah, and we were talking about just how scary the Sylvan Library card was out of the sideboard, right? And it's just been putting up work. It's my Miri's Guile, except I can take advantage of it better.
Green Sun Zenith for 3.
Either Knight of Autumn or another Knight of the Reliquary.
Yeah, I would assume probably Knight of the Reliquary. No, it is a Night Autumn. And they're going to destroy the one of the Valakuts. I think that's the smart way here.
So here's the scary thing. Now you actually need to deal with this Hex Drinker. A single land from Argon is enough to get it. So
Mhm.
the Hex Drinker will get to level 8. It'll become the mini Progenitus. Is it an 8/8 then, or is it 6/6? It does
6/6.
6/6 protection from everything. But that is a 2-turn clock swinging in at Bear.
Yeah. That's amazing, which is a great thing right now. To just not the clock's right, not in directly in the face. Does that mean we're playing 2 Maze Myths? I like that we're playing 2. That's really smart.
I didn't even notice that in this list.
Yeah, that's
I'm
super
not gonna
smart.
lie. When I look at lands lists, a lot of the times I gloss over the lands that are there. I have to really intentionally go in looking for something for me to notice anything.
Hmm. Guile trigger here.
What are you looking for if you're on Bear's side?
Oblivion Ring. You're absolutely looking for something to get rid of this Hex Drinker and start putting yourself in position to start taking the game over. So you're gonna take the port. Now you do stop. That's a really good hit. Exploration. Crop rotation seems really good right now.
Um, but what do you
Um,
get? You just get Glacial Chasm. There's a wasteland on the other side, so you can't. That is not a
you
line that's good.
they can tap down the wasteland. They can keep the wasteland
Oh,
tapped.
oh, that's
Well,
great.
Well, I mean, they can activate it in response, but um, you also can keep uh, an opponent off of possibly. I mean, this is a real Bear is in deep thought mode right now. Um, that's a really good answer right now. Stops the level ups.
Yeah, it makes it so you don't have to worry about this main progenitus on this turn, but it doesn't
Mhm.
answer the overarching problem.
No, it doesn't, but it's a step in the right direction.
What's the choice? Paying to keep that one, letting the knight go. And Argon getting to a scary position where you can't really, unless you're planning on winning on that turn,
Mhm.
um, you can't really afford to take four. So this really is just a big Miri scale right now.
Yeah. Cracks to draw. Liked what they saw. Probably gonna wasteland the tabby here.
Seems right. That thing
Oh
ain't
no,
coming
the
back.
maze. I think that's also a great hint. Um, gonna tap down the bayou in response to attacks. I like that. Gonna go to 8. 8 and 8. This is a game and a half. This is a great way to end.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Bear getting to look at the top three with his own Miri's Guile. Of course, Bear is able to chain through cards a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And on Argon's
Abs-
side, Argon just has the clock.
yeah, absolutely. There's a 3/3 with protection from instance. That's a great thing to have right now on that side of the board. It's a 3-turn clock.
It's the 4/4, right?
It is
Yeah, it's
a
4/4 protection from instance right now.
4/4. That's even bigger. So it's a 2-turn clock. Shows another exploration. That can be huge here.
Depends on if we can start chaining through the
I'm
other.
gonna bet this is an Oblivion ring. Yup, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunate that you're not able to take the Sylvan Library here, but just getting rid of the clock is far more important.
Absolutely, you're not dead. Exploration goes away. You take a damage. Go to 7. I'll tap down your Bayou. Yeah,
Wow, what a tight game three for us to
this
watch
is
here.
insane.
Bear really just being on the edge of his seat this entire time, Brett, trying to stabilize. And finally looks like we're getting to that point.
A
Seeing
late
mom kill
mother.
him.
I really want to know what Argon boarded out. So there goes the Tabernacle. So
I mean, you were right, and we haven't seen the Stoneforge package any of the three games.
yeah, no. I'd be surprised if the Stoneforge package was still in. It just doesn't seem like it gets there. I hope you guys are all enjoying this game as much as Oliver and I have. We are cold clock, just open mouth at this match right now.
My head hurts, to be totally honest. We've had some real nail biters. Again, that first match where we got to see Reaple Cheeps up
Oh,
against
it's a bog.
McDiff, and now coming into this one where it's like, what are the potential lines here?
Bog in a stage. So probably have it enter. I would think you have it enter as a port.
Well, you get to
Wow.
you activate the stage, right? It isn't a Vesuva where you choose on ETB.
Yeah, you get to activate the stage. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's 2 and a tap. That's when stage becomes a copy. So yeah, you just wait till the Dark Depths comes in. Tap down 2 of your sources. Just leave you with white open.
Argon really just looking for additional lands and threats right now.
Yeah.
Of note, Argon is going to get to start swinging in with this mom, and that is technically a clock.
Yeah, mom's the clock.
Unfortunately, not able to race against this Valakut exploration by itself.
Yeah, 7 to 6 here. Argon at 6, Bear at 7. This is insane. Wasteland, Verdant,
Oh, that's so good with the exploration or the the Valakut exploration.
Elephant Grass.
Oh, do you play this elephant grass? I feel
I
like you
think
do.
I think you do. Unless you just keep pinging the one.
What did we fetch with the Verdant Catacombs? There should be two. Oh no, no, I apologize. No, I misspoke. See the grass coming in. One more damage comes in. And
We're
we
at
have
5.
2 ports also.
Yeah.
Argon down to 5. Bear sitting relatively comfortably now at 6.
Yep. Double port the 2 duels. See ya.
Or the duel on the plains, right? Leaving the
Yeah,
forest
dueling the
this
planes.
time. Come on, just mana source and 2 drop. Oh, the reminder on elephant grass. I believe that's paying 2 for elephant grass, correct?
Yeah, I gotta pay 2. Has to pay 2 to swing.
And it's starting to look like Bear is going to be able to stabilize through this.
That's insane.
I do wonder if it's correct for Bear to just try to maximize exploration damage at this point and
Mhm.
just try to close out the game in 2 turns. And this is one way to do it. Oh, you got yeah. If you hit the wasteland, you just want to be making it so Argon has absolutely
Another
0 mana
stage.
sources.
You wasteland the one of the duels. Now you have them locked.
They need to find other mana source off of the Sylvan library, which they haven't been previously finding.
You'll go to 4.
And double port. So now because Argon was previously with after the port stuck on 1 mana, even finding a mana source here really isn't amazing. This fetch land makes it so Argon has to go down to 3, which is really scary against this Valakut's exploration.
Make
Was
a
that becoming
copy.
another port?
It would make
Oh,
sense. It would absolutely make sense that that's becoming a port just to lock them down here.
here's the question. Do you port the Windswept Teeth? I would say you don't, right? Just so they have to spend it themselves, and you aren't giving them the free clear of the top of their library
Absolutely. No,
from the
you
Sylvan
don't.
library.
From a death and taxes standpoint, no, you absolutely don't touch that point. You don't touch that heath right now. So it doesn't pay for the grass update. Doesn't matter.
This Mother of Runes is not going to be able to race the Valakut exploration at this point.
No. Wow, what a game.
Head report, and I absolutely agree. This is the type of match that you walk away from going, that was real good. Especially when we get to the game 3 being like this, when the other 2 games were so decisive for the either of the other players, right? Game 1, Chaotic Bear just got early momentum, and Argon was never able to catch up, right? The snowball just went and went and went. Game 2, Argon pressured in this unbelievable way that just made it look like Bear could almost do nothing, right? And then we get to a game 3 like this, which was really quite back and forth. Argon coming out of the gates, this early ley line looking like it was fantastic, and Bear slowly stabilizing at a low life total in the face of the Hex Drinker.
Now, my opinion here is that uh crop rotation, whoa, are we gonna get a wasteland here? No, this is gonna be a depth.
Oh,
Oh no, they do get the wasteland. Okay, no, they get the wasteland. Wasteland the Dryad Arbor. Oh, Valakut Exploration trigger. Hit you, kill the Dryad Arbor. Tap down your remaining lands.
And Argon at 3, of course.
Yeah. Argon's down to 3.
This is fascinating. I think what does Argon need to get off of this Sylvan Library to be able to get back in the game? I honestly can't think of anything at this point.
I can't either. Uh, a Knight of Autumn. Oh no, the Knight of Autumn's already been seen and dead. Um, I don't even know. Honestly,
That is very true beyond sadistic. There is the ability to gain sunlight. Are there creatures in the graveyard? Yeah,
no.
the arbor would
Oh,
give him a life if he was able to go ahead and get Skoos in play and
I'm
activate
gonna
it, I
assume
suppose.
that Bear is going to stack this where he has the ability to just go land, land, land to end this game.
I mean, if it's a possibility, I imagine he will.
I mean, Argon's down to 2.
We just need 2 lands to get there.
Yeah, you just need to play land, land. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna fix this. Okay, great. Draw this card. Play a land. Trigger.
Doesn't even matter that it's a Dark
Flips.
Thespian
He can
stage.
just move to end step. That's game. Hits him for 2.
Chi. What a fantastic final
Oh,
match.
it's not over. Swords to Plowshare of the Mom. Gains a life.
Oh my goodness. What?
That's
Are
so
you
smart.
kidding me?
That's so smart.
I already went to wrap up mode. Oh my
Yeah, no,
goodness.
that
Argon just way above me.
Argon goes to 1. Gets all of his lands tapped down. Yeah, there's a Dark Depths in play with a Thespian stage in play. So
That
I
was
mean,
hilarious.
that was amazing. And then yeah, it, cracks the fetch to kill themselves. Goes out on his own sword.
That was amazing. Oh, what a fantastic final match for this fight night. Pope, this was a fantastic night across the board. I'm so happy I got a chance to commentate with you. We got to play some, or we got to hold some amazing matches for all of our viewers. I got one last question though. If I really wanted to join what I'm seeing here, if I wanted to get in on the next fight night, how could I go ahead and do that?
You could hit exclamation mark Discord in the chat here. That'll give you an invite to join us here on the MTG Paper Legacy Discord, where we have events running all of the time. I loved casting with you tonight, Oliver. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight for some of the best 3-game matchups we saw, and then also just some great games overall from every single player. And we thank you guys so much for joining us. And we will see you guys hopefully on Saturday for our MTG Saturday tournament, where hopefully we won't see 25 of Doc's decks in the tournament, but maybe we will. But we will happily see you guys soon. I'm Pope Hoffy. That's Oliver V. This is the MTG Paper Legacy Discord. Let us be your local meta. We will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much.
Take care.